In 1970, Kraftwerk released their debut album on Philips, and from it, the track Ruckzuck. A bit more length on that. And that was Ruckzuck, the opening track off the 1970 debut album by Kraftwerk, released on, according to Discogs, on December 1st, 1970. Yes. And basically, it began with this rising flute pattern that then got kind of like double layered, minimalist, kind of like minimalistic style. Yeah. Yeah, with one, repetitive sequence, and then another slightly, kind of off center to that, giving it kind of this trippy effect. And then it all tightened in the key of A suddenly, became more staccato over this like mid-tempo 4/4 rhythmic pattern, highlighted with this faint yet glowing electro tone in the background that was highlighting the sevens and sixes in the key of A, like na 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 na, like that ever faintly. And then there was this, after a couple of minutes of that, this tense up, speed up of the whole pattern commenced at around 2:10. The flute became more galloping. You could say the overall rhythmic feel became more galloping, and the key tones more frenetic. And then it all got swallowed up into kind of like nothing, kind of like into a street hole almost around 3 minute mark. And after a brief pause, there was like a whole reboot of the track with looser phased drumming and faint violin strikes. More staccato flute this time, with really like sharp, like each note being really sharp, like nah, 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 nah. It's kind of odd to hear a flute like begin so like abruptly on each note. For a minute I was thinking, is this all being fed kind of backward It's basically what we had just been listening to a minute ago, only backward. And then I thought no, because it wasn't like stopping abruptly. It was like starting abruptly. It's flute notes, tend to kind of ease in and out. They tend to, and then let's see, everything started to like fade once again into this like twirling metal percussion, just tapping, and then at around 5:10, and then following this misty sequence, we had a moment of like toms and snare drums fading in and out once again with that flute, and then a retightening of the track proper of the song proper at around 7:05 for like a final go round. And then there was like, of course, that false stop that kind of threw me for a bit, because I thought, wow, there's about 15 seconds to go in the file length, and then it came back again for a few more bars in section. And yeah, that was Kraftwerk. That was the main two guys of the band, Ralf Hütter and the recently departed Florian Schneider. And with on this track, drumming is provided by Andreas Hohmann of the band Iblis, or Iblis. I profiled them on this channel a few months ago. On the other side of the album, they've got Klaus Dinger on one big track anyway, Von Himmelhoch. Yeah, he would surface in the band Neu. And let's see, Ralf Hütter playing organ and synthesizer, a tubon, they say it is, yeah. And Florian Schneider responsible for flute and violin and some electric percussion, they say, and produced by the great Conrad Planck, who would do many of great studio recordings over the next 10 years, would produce some very seminal works for Ultravox. Anyway, yeah, Kraftwerk, their first two albums, with this, I've also profiled Kling Klang off of their 1972 album, Kraftwerk 2. Yeah, they, these first few albums, hard to come by, like back in the 90s. Back at this record convention in late 1993, I found this English pressing of the two albums, like with this, over this blue kind of spiral over a black background, and got to enjoy these quite well, particularly Kling Klang, which became one of my favorite electronic pieces of all time. Just 17 minutes of these trippy, kind of pitch bendy effects. Yeah, I would just zone out to that. Like, turn out all my lights in my room and turn on these like colored kind of shadow lights that I stuck in the corners, and just let the mind just picture all the tonal colors and cosmic, effects. And anyway, yeah, and this having more of like a rhythmic feel than a lot of their subsequent work. And all the more distinct and special for that. This coming a few months after a release under the name Organization. Yeah, that the Kraftwerk pair of the founding pair of Hütter and Schneider were responsible for. Yeah, Tone Float. Yeah. So quite coming from a really like experimental and just loose and open-ended post-psychedelic beginning with some minimalistic influences and tightening up as the years went by, getting more, starting to center around tonal colorization more, particularly on the next album, Kraftwerk 2, and its follow-up, Florian and Schneider, which I endorse as their strongest album overall, with the track Pineapple Symphony. But that's a subject for another installment. Anyway, for more rubies and sapphires from the catalog of Kraftwerk, see the directory of albums by German artists linked in the description below. for Red Hot Tracks and Purples from more than 1,100 German albums from the 70s and 80s. Yeah, across the musical spectrum, from symphonic rock to electronic, Berlin School to New Deutsch Welle to jazz rock, brass rock, post psychedelia, space rock, yeah, folk. Like and subscribe, follow me on social media, share the video, and leave a comment if there are any observations you have about the track we just heard. The instrumentation, the layers, the interplay, the rhythmic feel, the tonal colorization, and the mood it conveyed. And until next time, this is Zaragon, the world's most ear trouble trimaximalist, signing off.